deregulatory focus. Is that right?
Yes, in a way. If you take the president and the DOJ seriously as a matter of law, it absolutely is at tension. And in particular, it's at tension with what they've said to the FCC. What they've said to the FCC is you have authority here. And now what they're saying to Congress is actually Congress needs to fix this. But what I really think about 230 is that what the president is doing is about a political narrative. It gives him a platform to continually talk about how conservatives are being censored, even though there's certainly no evidence that that's really true. There's some anecdotes. And in fact, if you look at Facebook, most of the most popular stories are from conservative media. So it's really more about political narrative. But the larger point is exactly right. The DOJ, for example, is about to apparently file a lawsuit against Google, but that lawsuit will be very much at tension with what a Republican majority court did in terms of antitrust in the American Express case. And I expect that whoever Trump nominates would have agreed with that majority. So there's a lot of different tension.
So that's fascinating. Let's start with just the Supreme Court piece of this, though, because arguably that is set for a generation here if a conservative fills the seat. What would we see in terms of what that court would mean for the internet, for some of the kind of telecoms areas that you focus on?
Yeah, well, I think there are a couple of different elements. The first element is the question of whether state and local governments will continue to have any authority over the internet. This is actually a very difficult question. The Interstate Commerce Clause was written at a time when a lot of commerce, most commerce, was actually within a state. And over time, we've adjusted as commerce has changed. And the states and the federal government have shared a lot of different jurisdiction, even though arguably certain things are function of interstate commerce. But the internet is a whole new ballgame. And so you have different litigation on issues like privacy and net neutrality, testing the limits of state and local governments. I expect a conservative majority in the Supreme Court would essentially shut out state and local regulation. But it doesn't stop there. There are also a couple of different cases, including the so-called Chevron case, which gives deference to federal agencies. And then there's also the so-called delegation doctrine, which says that Congress can delegate to agencies the actual technical task of figuring out how to achieve the ends that Congress has mandated.
And
and what the court could do is reverse both Chevron and the delegation doctrine and essentially eliminate regulatory power from the agencies. So you both get rid of the state and local governments and you get rid of federal agency authority. That leads to a very judicially mandated deregulation.